So what's up guys, this is your boy Christopher Joseph, and today we are reviewing the Steam Deck. I got my Steam Deck 2 or 3 weeks ago, so I've been playing it almost like non-stop. I really like this thing. I have the 64 gig and I put in the SD card, which is like 256 gigabytes. It's a pretty much decent amount of space for me as far as like my playing style and the games that I like. I'll just move some games off here and there if I need to make space for something I'm not playing. Okay, let's get into the pros. Okay, the pros about the Steam Deck is that I love how it looks. People complain about how big this thing is, but honestly for me it feels perfect. It feels like the Xbox controller. I love the Xbox controller, but this feels like so perfect in my hands, and like the weight of it just makes it feel more powerful for some reason. I don't know why. Don't judge me, but that's just my mind telling me that the bigger this thing is, the more powerful it is. And guess what? It really is. I have like 2 emulators on here. They run perfect. I have a GameCube emulator on here and it works like it's no jitter, no nothing. For some reason though, my 64 is a little but I'll get into that as far as like the cons. And if you guys hear those booms in the background, they're still doing fireworks. Well, just like the emulation, that's another pro, is that you can get emulators on here, so you're not stuck to just buying the games that they provide for you. Now the games they have are, awesome. You can play 2K on here, you can play Elden Ring. Like the game selection like on here is just like fan freaking tastic. You're basically playing like your high-end games in your hand. Like it has a really nice UI on here. Like everything looks like really smooth. It looks really nice. You can have your profile on here where you can add your friends. Unfortunately, all I have is my brother because I am very new to Steam, so, and I don't really play like a lot of multiplayer games, but if you guys see this, you can always add me. I'll put my friend code in the bottom in the description. Another pro is that you can connect your AirPods to this, and that is so convenient for me because that's like the only kind of headphones I really have. You can connect the speaker on here, or you can put in some regular headphones with the wired headphones in here as well. I can just conveniently connect my AirPod Pros to this thing. I think they're connected now. But basically overall, it's so many things like great you can say about this machine that it can go pretty much on and on. But those are like my personal things that I like about this. My cons for the Steam Deck is you have to buy games that are basically verified to work. And if you buy something that's mixed or not verified, you have no clue what's gonna happen. When I first got 2K, it had mixed reactions, and I'm like, okay, 2K, you can't go wrong with 2K. I had no idea. It ran perfect for a while, no problems, but then out of nowhere it starts glitching every time I play it. Like I can be in the middle of a game and it crashes, and it crashes bad to where every time I have to restart my Steam Deck, and that gets very annoying for a game I really like. Another thing I don't like is if you're into emulators, you have to really know what you're doing, because it is not the same as far as like putting on your phone. It is not as easy peasy. I find myself on a lot of tutorials. It gets to the point where I just give up. Like you can get the Nintendo Switch on here, and from what I see, it runs really nice. But you have to do so much just to get it working. I'm like, it's possible, but I really don't have the time. I don't have the time or the patience these days. If I did, I would, but it's more of a kind of a hassle if that's what you really want to do with your deck. It's possible, it's just a little time consuming. So that sucks. The battery on this thing is good for how big it is, but in reality, it only lasts for about 2.5 hours. Sometimes even that, give or take. And that kind of like, you might want to carry around a battery pack if you're going to be out and about. I'm usually in the house. I don't ever take this out the house. I'm always buying like a charging port or whatever, but it's like I know once I get into the game, I have to check my battery just to see how far it went down, because it kind of goes down pretty fast depending on which games that you're playing. Like if I'm playing 2K or Portal, it drains really fast. I have to turn my brightness down. Surprisingly, my emulators run really well where it doesn't drain the battery as well, but those big games, yeah. Oh god, and then it gets so freaking hot when you're playing those games. That's another kind. I can feel it, and it's like I feel like, oh my god, I'm gonna break it because it gets so freaking hot sometimes. That might just be me, like a little pet peeve, because they have vents on here, and I'm not sure I'm sure every system gets hot, but it's just like, you know, as far as something that's new, they're just sending out the first generations. And I play the game a lot too, not gonna lie, so it's probably my fault, but I have to put it down sometimes and let it cool off for a couple hours. But then I'm back into it. One other thing I don't like is probably a little small pet peeve is that getting like YouTube and Netflix on here. I mean, it's easy if you could use your desktop, but sometimes as far as like how we have like, you know, the Switch or like our phones, we can just go straight to it. You just download it straight from the store. This thing is specifically made for games, I suppose, because I look on here, I can't find Netflix, I can't find YouTube or Hulu or anything like that. It's all games, which is cool. This is for gamers, but at the same time, when I have my AirPods connected, it's like I kind of want to easily go to Netflix. Like, could you imagine watching Netflix on this? Like, it would look so amazing. I mean, at ease. Like I said, you can always go to your desktop to do it. I don't do it because it's time consuming. And you know why it's time consuming? Because another con that I kind of don't like is the fact that this thing is so powerful and you can use your computer with it. It's a little tedious when you're doing stuff like that, like moving files around when you're on your desktop, because the keyboard is a little you know, I mean, it works and it just works a little not to my favor. What I'm trying to say is you can actually get a mouse, a keyboard, and a stand for this. You can get a dock for it too, or you can dock it, have it sitting up in front of you, or you can mount it to your you connect it to your monitor or TV. But me, I'm like, oh my god, that's just more money. And it's awesome, it's very awesome that you can do that on here, but at the same time I'm like, gee, I don't know, I might as well have got a console if that's the point, you know what I'm saying? Or I should have got a gaming laptop or a computer if you have to do all that just to kind of get the most out of it. But it is, at the same time, it's a double-edged sword because it is pretty cool that you can do that with this. It's just, to me personally, it's a little, okay, it's like, I just want to keep it right in here, just right in here. It's just fine for me. That's perfect. I am a handheld game lover, so sometimes I don't like even dealing with my PS5. Like, I'll go bouts where I don't even play it. Like, once I got this, I do not play my PS5 at all, and I feel so bad. Like, I watch Netflix on there, and that's pretty much about it. And when I'm watching Netflix, I'm playing this bad boy. Just my pros and cons, you know. What games do I have on here? A game I definitely recommend is called Desk Job. I think it's the people from Portal made it. It's just a short game. Somebody recommended it in a Steam Deck group, and I was just like, I'll play it. It was freaking amazing, just for what it was. It just shows you like what this thing is capable of as far as like the buttons and everything, because there's buttons in the back and everything. And the graphics and the color of it looks dope. And speaking of Portal, I have Portal 1 and 2. 1 ran perfect. 2 keeps freaking glitching, and on here it says keeps having positive ratings. I don't know how, because it keeps closing on me. I have to literally start the whole deck over every time I play it, and that's one of my favorite games ever. Also, I have Left 4 Dead 2, which runs amazing, and I'm so surprised because there's a lot going on in that game. I was a big fan of number 1. I have surprisingly never played number 2 until I had it on the Steam Deck, but it runs amazing. Also, I have a game called Project Zomboid. It's a zombie survival game. Please get this game. Like, it's a little hard for me to play on here. It might actually be easier if I had like I think it was made for like a mouse and the keyboard, which actually might be a tad bit easier. But when you get into it, dope. One of the best zombie survival games ever. Shout out to my brother Phil, who put me up on Project Zomboid. Oh yeah, and 2K22 NBA. When it does play, dopest game I probably have on here. I can play that for, I mean, you can play multiplayer on here. This thing is so amazing. I mean, it's just like so dope that you can do that. And I know you can do that on the Switch, but we're not talking about the Switch. We're talking about this bad boy. I have the Dolphin emulator, which runs my GameCube games, which all I have now is Wind Waker. Those games are a little big to download from my Steam Deck, so I do it on a computer and put it on my SD card and put it back, blah, blah, blah. Wind Waker runs so dope, so smooth. It looks so dope on here, like no complaints. Also have the RetroArch where I play Zelda Majora's Mask on here, which that actually runs a little I don't know if that's the one thing, like I said, about emulators. I don't know how to get this to run perfect, but it runs decent enough for me. Just sometimes the pixels look crazy. The floor might be missing, but hey, I played this game a million times, so I already know what it's about. But with that being said, guys, I hope you liked the video. If you guys see this, remember to like, comment, subscribe. If you guys want to see more videos like this or anything you guys want to see, you guys let me know in the comment section. Yeah, that's about it. I don't know how to end videos, so bye.